Hey guys, welcome to the Tech Point Africa podcast. My name is Emmanuel.
And I'm Chimgos Rim.
And my name is Bolu.
Okay. It's just the guys in the house today. The ladies.
They are preparing for Salah.
No.
Like how many days in advance?
It's essential.
I beg.
That's true. We need
send your contacts to me. You can message me if you are going to celebrate, please.
Oh, okay, no problem. So yeah, Nifemi, it's working on. I had a very, very important interview to attend, and Onome is actually here with us. So she's our Mr. Producer. Say hi, wave. She's waving, good, but she has refused to join us with Mike. So yeah, you can hear her voice. So So how are we doing? How was our weekend? How is the week treating us?
Bolu, go ahead. How was your weekend?
Weekend was bloody.
Bloody.
Yes, my account bled.
Yeah, which of your
For
accounts?
reasons that I cannot reveal.
Crypto account.
No.
Oh, okay. My account also bled.
For reasons that what?
That we cannot talk about.
Are you owing one crypto mafia?
It does not reach that level for me.
I beg, tell us
It does not reach that
so we
level.
can distance ourselves from you small.
But it was kind of fun. Yeah, I didn't really do much until Sunday. Went out on Sunday. That's all. But the Saturday, I was just at home, binge watching Big Bang Theory.
Nice. nice one. So yeah, it's an interesting one, and me, I'm actually preparing for the CBN hackathon. I learned they are doing hackathon for Inera.
I saw that. Yes,
I need to chop small money. Okay,
Hey,
it's not lay my own that will not lose.
Yeah, they say it's all part of their plan to make. I guess they are just trying to create more inclusion for the Inera, like get more people to use it. The hackathon sounds like a good way to go, but I guess
really?
I don't really think it's working.
Is it a good way?
It sounds like an icing on a useless cake.
Like what is
No, nah.
The cake does not have taste.
okay,
no
how many people will
direction.
participate in that hackathon?
You never know. You never know. I think it will happen. It will happen real soon. From I think the deadline has probably passed, or I think today or yesterday was the deadline. But let's be optimistic.
Anyway,
There's nothing to be optimistic about. Please.
well, anyway, like Bolu said, I actually wouldn't mind applying to that hackathon. The only issue is while I'm pitching, I will just be remembering all the suffering that I've been suffering with dollar cards, and I might go and insult the CBN governor
During your hackathon,
the India hackathon. I'll be like,
Please,
I was not able to execute this because of the CBN policies.
be disqualified.
And it's a CBN hackathon, but it's fine.
be
But
disqualified and disqualified into prison.
okay, but I think the main issue here is not actually a regulator. I mean, they're doing a hackathon, so what? But all the way up or sideways to Central Africa, sideways up. Central Africa, Sudan, I've heard they shut down their internet once more
Yeah,
as a result of what's the excuse this time? Exams.
it's political. This as it always is. So there was a coup.
It's not always political though. Sometimes they say they don't want people to have malpractice.
Well, this time around it's political. So apparently there has been a coup, and there have been protests as a result. So in anticipation, they shut down the internet like a few days ago. But right now, Sudan is basically blocked from the internet, and I don't know why. Well, I know why they are doing it, but it really doesn't make sense considering how crucial the internet is for a lot of things that people do. And I know we've overflogged this topic, but why do African governments always choose a repressive route every single time they are confronted?
It's the lowest hanging fruit.
Because I'm just wondering, people's livelihoods will be affected. You saw what happened with Twitter when it was banned in Nigeria. So livelihoods will be affected. People are going to be skeptical about investing in your country. By the way, Sudan also received their first investment in like over 30 years last year. And now they've had a YC startup. Ordinarily,
Sudan, not South Sudan.
yeah.
Okay.
So
they've merged.
and I don't even know the politics of that country. Like, it's very, very confusing. Today is South Sudan, tomorrow is Sudan. But it's supposed to be like very, I mean, it's encouraging news. But if something like this happens, let's say just once a year, it's difficult for investors to be confident because now you don't know how long it's going to last. These are protests, and I mean, okay, let's say the protests last for 1 week. They will ban it for 1 week, and then after that they'll return and do all, like, it's just this time that, and funny enough, the startup that YC backed is fintech, and I don't know if they have like a USSD component. So without the internet, how do they run their business all through that period?
I don't even fully know how USSD work.
Can it work without the internet?
That's another thing.
I suppose it can. I mean, it's
the thing is, for you doing the dialing this thing, you might not need to have an internet connection.
Okay.
But then on the back end, for the people actually
they need an internet
this,
connection. So that's the problem.
So I mean, settlement does not always happen immediately, like instantly. So you send money from your account to another person's account.
Yeah.
That person's account gets credited, but the actual settlement on the back end, you might not be able to pinpoint how fast the actual settlement, how fast did your bank actually send the money to the other bank. So most companies will just have to find a way to figure a lot of things out, right? In terms of internet. And for the startup that went out YC, I'm wondering how they are doing business now. I mean, they are dealing with a very, very tough global BC economic landscape.
Yeah.
You now had internet shutdown. Not cool. Not cool.
All the best for Sudan.
Our thoughts are with you in Sudan. If you can,
we are not mourning. We're
yes,
we're coming. Okay, no. Let me not.
It's not really money per se. Like, coming from a tech angle, like knowing what a tech ecosystem needs, and these things are not really in place in Sudan. So our thoughts are with them, like Chingozim said.
Okay, yeah, thoughts with everybody, and I think this is a very, very good time to make an appeal to most African government. I mean, try to think of other ways to handle confrontations and conflict besides just brute force, using the brute hammer all the time.
Very important.
Yeah. So, I mean, the internet has its issues, social media has its issues, but you can't throw the baby out with the bathwater. So, yeah, let's just leave that kind of depressing news. It's getting depressing the more I hear of it, for a lot of people. But in the news that's not depressing, Flutterwave, the mega unicorn of Africa, is making some mad appointments. And last week it was the appointment of Goldman Sachs. Okay, just give us the details. Okay.
So Flutterwave has appointed Gobe. I don't know how, I hope it's pronounced correctly.
Knowing you, it's not.
So Gobe Dillon, he's joining Flutterwave, or he has joined Flutterwave from Goldman Sachs, where he was the CTO and head of lending for Marcus. So Marcus was their is Goldman Sachs lending platform. So he's just joining them now to be a CTO. He's their new CTO, and it's impressive news, I guess. I mean, Africa to the world. So an African startup has gotten to the point where you can lure a former Goldman Sachs CTO to come and head your technical team. I think that's impressive. Kind of shows how far the ecosystem or the startup itself has grown.
True.
But on the other hand, this is like the third, let's say, foreign hire they've done in the last 1 year. Should be the third. So they've hired a CFO as well, and they hired, that was just last month, I think around the second week of June, that was when it was announced, hired O'Neill Bambani as its CFO. So this was like a few weeks after the whole financial allegations came out against Flutterwave. So this would look like Flutterwave is responding. At first, I think we asked some questions like, did it just die down? Was nothing done? So a lot of people were curious, was nothing done about this? So this could be in response to all of that, because some people argued that if there was a proper CFO in place, then some of those irregularities would not have happened.
Okay.
But the proper CFO who is in cahoots with the CEO can do and undo. So it doesn't really, let's say, solve the problem, but it helps. It helps. But another thing some people are wondering is, are they in the market for more money? That's what a lot of people are asking. But I'm also asking myself, could they be looking to get acquired? They've done a Series D.
Yeah.
So where do you go from here? It's either you're doing a Series E or you're going public. So are we going to see them get acquired or raise more money? And if they're going to raise, they just raised the Series D this year. So I'm assuming they won't be raising for the next few months, or they might even be in the process. Like, you never can tell. So is this? Are they about to raise money? Or are they preparing their books in order to get acquired?
So going by Binga Agbola's previous comments, right, talking to Tech Media, it seems Flutterwave has been gone in for an IPO, going public, right? So, but I'm not sure where the company is right now, right? Given the recent backlash it had.
Yeah.
After
this might not be the best time.
Yes. After David Hondane's post talking about if Flutterwave being a unique made out of quicksand.
Yeah.
Now, the appointment of the CTO from Goldman Sachs made me remember a very, very, very telling point in that article, which, of course, Flutterwave has still not come out to address. I mean, if the stuff in the article is false, okay, tell us the truth, right? What is really going on and what really went on behind the scenes. But what the response they gave was very, very vague. Basically recycled stuff, old news that's blah, 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 blah.
We are dealing with it.
We are dealing with it, good. But in that article, they said the CTO of Flutterwave was Greg Agbola.
Yeah.
So it's not to shake any tables here before people start coming for me, but you are free to do that. You are free, trust me. You won't even see me on Twitter. But just to really, really address the point, is it possible that this is influenced by investors?
Yeah. I think it's very, very, very possible. So the thing is, influencers, I say influencers, investors have like a huge role to play in all of this. So let's go back to the story about Bento and the work culture.
Yeah.
We were told the investors actually influenced the decision of the CEO to like take some of the decisions he did, stepping back a bit while they carried out investigations. So this is like standard practice for a company of Flutterwave's size. Now, considering that Flutterwave has done a Series D, you don't get to that point without having some really influential investors there. They're not going to just sit down and look at you mess their investments up. So they are going to, because one of the reasons you also hire these guys is, or the reason you get some of these guys on your cap table is, what can they help you do?
Yeah.
What kind of guys can they help you access? So now they've hired someone from Goldman Sachs. They've hired the CFO is coming from American Express. So these are like global companies. They've had like established structure. They've worked in really structured environments. So the CTO, like, he's coming from Goldman Sachs and he spent over a decade at Goldman Sachs. So that's like you're working at one of the top financial, if not the top financial institution in the world, and you've experienced that culture. You know what it's like to build in a very structured environment, because startups fail fast and break things fast in the early stages. But at some point, when somebody has to monitor how his money is doing, you cannot be breaking things anyhow. So I think that's it. I think the investors definitely pushed for this kind of will I say, hires, because I mean, except even when you're trying to like move into a new market, because think about it, these guys are not, they don't have an understanding of the African market. They've not worked in Africa. So how do you understand the African market, for example? You don't just get it simply because you worked at Goldman Sachs. So the fact that they've not worked in Africa prior to this point, I just feel that it's something that the investors pushed, and probably they're also looking at the IPO you were talking about. So if you can get some really credible guys on your team, help steer the ship right and all, But then it also makes me ask some questions. What's the state of our talent market?
State of your talent market?
Yes, in Africa.
So if it's talent market you want to even enter, that's a whole different ball game. But it's pretty obvious that foreign companies are already paying more than local companies.
Right.
So many
best are leaving
already.
And that's crazy because we are still at the early stages of the ecosystem. What happens when we have like 100 Series A or Series B level companies? Where do they hire their CFOs from? Do they have to return to Canada to hire those guys?
So let's just say you have to grow to a Flutterwave to be able to hire them back.
And that's a problem because not every startup will get to a Flutterwave level.
Yeah, you could get to an Okra level. Okra did something similar. Hired a product manager at Google to be their product manager. So Okra did that after raising $1 million. So if you raise $1 million, if you raise $2 million, you could actually afford to probably hire people from across the globe. You could. I'm saying this probably. I really don't have an idea of like the unit economics of how it will all work because it might not make sense all the time. But I've seen some of all these startups actually embracing the idea of building a global company from Africa. So I guess that's an important conversation to have. Should we build for the globe or should we build for Africa? So you were about to say a question.
Yeah, the second part of that is like, I don't know. I just feel really, will I say, conflicted about the decision. Yes, it's good that we can. I mean, it's actually impressive that an African company can hire someone at that level because we've had situations where African companies basically get less qualified Europeans or Americans to work in our startups or in our companies. I mean, they won't meet the standard in their countries. So I mean, they come over to Africa, and because they are white, they get some of these positions. But I'm just wondering, what does it say, or what does it portend for local talents? Right? It also shows the state or the level of development we have, because how many people are at that level where they can be CFOs in a startup? You're probably going to have to go to, let's say, a bank, for example, to hire someone to come and be your CFO. Or hire someone to be your CTO. And banks, you can't go to a bank to hire your CTO. You'll be missing your way. But like CFO, you need someone with like really good financial knowledge. So you're returning to really large institutions, the banks, the PwCs of this country, in order for you to hire like well-grounded finance guys. Yeah. So this is something that, I mean, there's a very limited number of people working in these areas. So that means the talent pool is still very, very small. Because the higher you get, the more expertise. Nobody is just hiring you because you have 4 years. They need to have seen that you've done stuff.
Okay. Yeah, you really make compelling argument. Polly has been looking at me since, but no problem. Yeah, so whether you have a small team, whether you have a big team, you need to actually understand how to communicate. You need to understand how to communicate with your users, right? And I just have to say, the way companies have handled investigations, the way companies have handled deep dives, the way companies relate with journalists, I don't think it's the best in Africa. But trust me, if you need to know how to get all these things right, like communications, you need to know how to get your customers on board, like they make them your loyal list regardless of the situation. If like, let them publish that you're a ritualist. No, you're not a ritualist, hopefully, yes. But I'm just saying it can be as bad as that, but with very, very, very creative storytelling, you'll be able to handle all these things seamlessly. And if you want to learn how to do that, the Tema Elevate conference holding on July 23rd is there for you. Yes, this is not a segue, it's just a natural extension of the story. Can you hear me? Okay, good.
Hey, Pastor Emmanuel.
Okay, good. So yeah, don't miss it. We're dropping the link to register. You register online if you can't attend physically. The Tema Elevate conference holding on July 23rd. Learn how to handle effective communications and just explore the unraveled and unparalleled world of technology. Just to build your brand to the next level. Whether you have a CFO from PwC or from a Canadian Enterprises, you can kill it with storytelling. Trust me. See, storytelling.
Yeah, storytelling.
Does the storytelling that you guys showed us in Web3? What's happening there now?
Storytelling.
Storytelling is mad. The kind of storytelling that these Web3 people give us is crazy. But somehow so far, we heard that a company stole $1.8 billion, not naira, not Kenyan shillings.
1.7 actually.
Oh, it's actually 1.7.
Yeah.
So they stole 1.7. Okay, that makes it better, right?
All right.
They stole. God, it's always sweet to drag Bolu and his Web3 people.
Don't
So
worry.
welcome to another edition of Dragging
Dragging
Web3.
Bolu.
Oh God. Well, you can drag me all you want. It's not new to me, but I will say the story, and I'm sure that by the end you understand that.
Tell me you don't cry at night.
Because of you, Chingoziri.
You said your bank was bleeding. Could that be the
No. It has
Okay.
nothing to do with crypto, actually.
All right.
All right. So, like Emmanuel said, there has been another crypto
Money heist. Crypto heist.
Yes, crypto related money heist. So it's actually not new, but it's just a new lawsuit that was filed, or a charge by the CTFC against a South African
CTFC,
company.
CFTC?
Yeah, I'll get to that. Against the South African company and the CEO.
Why does that
That's-
CTFC sound like one
It's actually
Indian
CFTC.
football club? Or
Sorry,
CFTC.
CFTC. Thank you.
Sounds like one Indian football club like that.
Should I know? So the CFTC, charged a South African company. They're a pool operator with $1.7 billion in fraud involving Bitcoin. So some background, right? So the CFTC is the Commodity Futures Trading Commission. So we are wondering what's all that. So they are the one that regulates derivative markets. Derivative markets. I'll explain it, but the truth is, let me explain it, the way I can. You don't really need to know much about it, but derivative markets is a financial market where you get access to financial securities, such as futures, contracts, options, that are the values of these things are derived from other financial instruments such as stocks and.
Do you understand?
No, I'll get it.
I don't.
So a derivative market, for example, is just you being able to bet on a particular financial instrument without having to own that financial instrument. Like you can bet. When we talk about derivative markets, that's when we start talking about people shorting things, people longing things. I don't know if you've heard about that. So you bet on where the
I've
value
heard
of
about
something.
it, but I've never fully understood. But I think it
Same
will
here.
make sense.
Yes, there's a reason why people have to do CFA 1, 2, 3, go through 13 years of school to understand those things. So, but basically, what it's about is I can bet on where the price of a particular financial instrument will be in future and make money of it. Basically, that's just in
So
simple terms.
What you are saying is the assets don't have value in themselves, but
Their value is derived. That's why we call
from
it
something else.
Yes, the derivative market. If you start going into that now, 13 years, we're still here because there's been a lot of people have spoken about it a lot. There is this, is that, but it has been around for quite a while. Like for example, the CFTC was established in 1979. So that's been around for some time. So another example is, say you produce sweets, for example, and then it will take you 2 months to produce. You have a plan to produce 10 tons of sweets.
10 tons of sweets.
Okay, 1 ton of sweets, and it will take you a particular amount of money to produce that thing. But you don't know that, you are not sure that if by the time you produce that stuff, will the price of the sweets still be the same thing? You get, you cannot be sure. So you can issue a futures contract, for example, that someone will now buy, which in a way, this is hard.
You know what we're going to do? We're going to look for an article. You're going to help us look for an article that explains derivatives for dummies.
I actually found one, but even it's like I'm less than a dummy because this is never clear. Yeah. So, but basically, it's just
Tell us what happened.
Yeah. All right. Let's go to what happened. Before derivative markets take all that time. So, what happened is that that commission that regulates the derivative markets in the US has now sued or charged a South African company with fraud, $1.7 billion fraud that involves Bitcoin. So, this thing didn't just happen, though the charge is new, but this thing didn't just happen. The company actually launched in 2019, and then it's like it was a scam basically, and they have this thing that they call a commodities pool where people will put money, and then there's a chance of them to like earn $4,000 daily. But then to buy into this,
come again,
when you earn $4,000 daily. Yes.
A person network with that.
Yes, daily, and then they said what you have to like. They do this kind of trading that they do with bots, with AI, and AI is so smart. AI cannot lose money. It's not as if it's people that will be doing your trading for you. They sold this thing to a lot of people, and people were like, makes sense. That's that. If you now want to join, or maybe you want to invest, you invest with Bitcoin, which was a very smart strategy because you can't track Bitcoin. You don't know where the money is. You are sending money somewhere, but you don't exactly know where it is going to. So they're able to get people to invest, and the least investment you can put in is $100. And they got a lot of investments, and they got according to the CFTC about 23,000 people in the US to invest, which you understand why the US is interested in the news. When the things start touching their people, they will come in. It's a South African country, but funny thing is, even Nigerians, I don't know how Nigerians usually get all these things, regardless of where these things are happening. Nigerians are usually part of the people that they will scam. So Nigerians are there, people from the US are there, and they were able to get $1.7 billion. That's a lot of money. In Bitcoin, that was 29,421 Bitcoin that they were able to get from people. That's absolutely crazy.
They didn't do daily returns.
People were not able to see, people started suspecting when they were not able to see. I guess they gave them a dashboard where you can see, okay, this is how my investment is doing, these are my earnings, things like that. And they noticed they were not seeing it again.
On your dashboard.
And they're like, what's going on? Even after that, the CEO, the person that was, from what the CFTC is saying, is like, they are saying the guy like almost single-handedly did the entire runs for this stuff. So his name is Cornelius Johannes Sternberg.
I just can't
He's South African. Cornelius.
So like drug lord like that.
Even after that, he came out and he was like, nothing is happening. It's just people are beefing us. They are this, they are that, and then the South African government, decided to launch an investigation into this. And after some time, Baba went on the run, wanted to, as we say in Nigeria, japa to Brazil, but thank God the Brazilian government were up and doing. They caught him in Brazil, and now, yeah, that's basically the story in a nutshell. some guys or a group of guys on Crunchbase itself. If you look at it, employee, this thing is only one employee.
Wow.
It's in the hand. So it's it's not possible for one person to do this on their own. It's not, but they might not be more than 3 or 4.
It gives Yahoo vibes. I mean, just get some boys inside one room.
It's this it's kind of this when it comes to crypto scams. These are where like the OG scams of those days that people were using. Crypto scams are not really done like this again. Like they've advanced.
But this this is really down.
Yes, this is like those, and it is one of those crypto scams where they make the most money. Though they don't really do scams like this again, but it's one. An example is the OneCoin scam. I don't know if you know about OneCoin scam, about a lady, a Bulgarian lady, Ignatova, and she was able to scam. I think she got about $4 billion from that. They caught her brother, they caught everyone else involved.
Did not catch her.
Did not catch her till today.
$4 billion.
$4 billion.
Scams.
$4 billion. That's probably the biggest crypto scam ever. But the thing is, when people say crypto scam, crypto is involved, yes, but it gives off this connotation that crypto is just for scams.
I apologize for your people.
But the thing is that it's really not. It's still a crypto scam because they try to use crypto to do this.
Okay, so the thing is that it's still a crypto scam. What did you not say?
But it is not like crypto is for scam. Let's not. Like,
I mean, no, we are not saying that. We are just saying that.
Say, because before you start dragging,
you guys promised us a very peaceful world that where we will never be scammed, where transactions can't be monitored by anyone.
Yes, which makes doing scams with them easier.
So, meaning crypto is not the answer.
Never was.
I think what crypto needs is extensive regulation.
Then is that still crypto?
Not.
Is that still crypto?
It's still crypto. The only that's where the regulation has to be very well thought out. We've seen countries like Nigeria, the US, the UK, South Africa coming up with ways to regulate these things. And while these efforts are commendable, we've still not seen an answer to how we can really regulate these things without them losing the essence
of crypto,
of why they were created.
Okay. So yeah, that's a very, very telling point. I mean, if you go on YouTube right now and check the Tech Point Africa YouTube channel, you're going to see the debate we had at Tech Point Africa Blockchain Summit Tabs 2022. And it was a very, very interesting conversation. And how do we find a balance between decentralization and centralization in crypto? So let me not bore you with the details. Go to our YouTube channel and see the bunch of videos from the Tech Point Africa Blockchain Summit and find a legit way to enter Web3. Please don't go and snap the picture of your grandfather and go and mint it as an NFT. No,
that's not. But thinking about it, that one is not. It's not illegal now. If I snap my grandfather and I make money with it,
exploiting the man is reversing.
Any old man picture on your status, I'm going to suspect you. I don't want to see. But yeah, that's it. Let's know what you think.
Yeah. And also, I just occurred to me, I didn't say the name of the actual company that did the scam. It's MTI, Mirror Trading International.
Mirror Trading.
Yeah.
Such an apt name.
Very apt, like.
And these things are becoming, I think, we might start seeing scams like this coming back, because recently I was on the road and some people approached me and they were talking about there's this thing, with Mirror Trading. They told them AI will do your trades, you will gain money, there's no way you will not always make money. And now what this person was trying to sell to me was that it's not AI. We discovered AI is not actually that good. AI still makes mistakes. And now they're telling me it's quantum computing that is going to do my trades for me. Something that
who is doing quantum computing?
That does not even exist. In the first place, it's just
in
still
Africa.
An idea in the world. Actually,
I think it may not get people like us who have small understanding of this. But think about WhatsApp group of our parents.
Why were your parents? Your parents are still trying to come to terms with AI. Why would they?
That's the thing.
Why would they be roped in by quantum computing?
They can fall for the AI scams, because a lot of elderly people are doing all this spike. Some of them are getting into it.
I think it's the way they sell these things. they sell it in. They will use all those AI to sell it, but then getting into it is what they will now make very easy. That barrier to doing it, they've told you, oh, we have all this tech. Then, interesting. But I don't want sabi this thing. No worry. You just do like this. For you. You just put this thing here.
So they don't even need to explain the details.
Exactly.
Think about MMM.
Just has to sound, very.
So na computer go they do the trading for you.
Exactly.
Now computer now.
And they already have an idea
computing.
of how good or what a computer can do. So think about it. I mean, it's our parents that usually call computer white man's witchcraft or something, or tech white man's witchcraft. So what does it take to get them?
Oh. Okay, so if you are listening to this, don't just tell us what you think. Go and warn your parents.
One parents, one people, because these people are on the streets telling you, selling stuff.
Mad evangelism.
Yes. Please, I think you guys should actually tweet this. Let's tweet this after. It's very, very important. Your parents, your uncles, your aunties, let them know that, of course, those that are already skeptical of stuff like this, you are not going to fall. But before you know, it starts spreading on WhatsApp. This new opportunity to make you financially free. Facebook groups and all those things. Please, you can tag us TechPoint.otng or with the hashtag TechPoint Africa Podcast, or you can email us podcast@techpoint.africa. And in case whoever you are sharing this thing with is doubting you and it needs evidence, just share this podcast with them. Let them hear Bolu speak the truth and hear us drag him. Yes, trust me, you can find this podcast anywhere you find your podcasts. Where?
You can find us on Google Podcast, Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Stitcher, and anywhere else you get your podcasts.
Yes, anywhere else you get your podcast. Please, I'm begging. This is Emmanuel Paul, and see you some other time.
Bye.
Bye-bye.